Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today I am back at you with another reaction video. Today specifically, I'm going to be reacting to Russell Brand. So I've actually never watched one of his YouTube videos before, but he's pretty popular on here. I've obviously loved him in movies that I've seen before. He seems to be just a very interesting and intelligent person altogether, so I'm excited to see what his YouTube channel is all about. The video that I'm going to be reacting to specifically is 5 habits that could destroy your relationships. So he's very into psychology. I think he's a very spiritual person. So I'm excited to see what he has to say. So let's get started.
Are you worried about your relationship? Do you want to improve your relationship, or are you more concerned about why I've got this hat on? In any event, we'll find a solution, and we'll find it now. The reason I'm wearing this hat is simply to provide you with some visual variety as you trawl through the meaningless, scrolling, limitless expanse of nothingness that is the social media space. But while you're here, why don't we talk about something spiritual? You worried about that? You don't like that? You don't like this? What, are you rattling? No, it's fine, Jen. People like stuff like that. It's authentic. People are craving authenticity, aren't you? Because you're living in a plastic constructed reality where you've got no access to truth except for this guy, old hat man who's had an injection recently, a guy you can trust. This is from Psychology Today, 5 habits that are likely to push a partner away. Should we check if we're doing them or not? Do you want to improve? Do you just want to waste your time here on life just sort of moaning and feeling all vulnerable? Of course you don't. You want to crack on. Let's do this together. Too much criticism. The golden ratio for communication is that 8% of what you say should be positive or neutral and only 20% should be critical and directive. I think I'm doing well because I really love my wife and I really try and be very, very positive. Neutral? Yes. Okay, even yes is positive. There are some walls here. What's neutral? What are you going to say that's neutral? I breathe some oxygen here. What are you going to say that's neutral? Uneven
Okay, just to touch on that one, I think too much criticism in a relationship can really negatively affect your dynamic with that person, because that person is going to view you more as a parent figure rather than a partner. I think constructive criticism is okay sometimes. Expressing your need and wants is definitely a thing that you should be doing, but constantly harping on your partner for everything that they do, constantly putting them down, is obviously going to make that person resent you. So I think this is something that we all need to be mindful of. It's like when guys say they don't want to be with a girl that's constantly nagging them like their mom. If I ask my boyfriend to do the dishes, I'm not going to sit and complain about the way that he does it because he's doing what I asked. Do I do that? Probably not. I normally do the dishes, let's be real. I don't even know if he knows how to turn the dishwasher on, if I'm being totally honest with you. If someone's contributing and someone's doing their part, you shouldn't be criticizing every single thing that they're doing, because it's going to make them resent you and not want to do it. So it's going to just kind of negatively affect you in the long run. So number 2.
match of argument or relationship talk skills. Now, I like to think that I'm a world-class arguer. You've seen me with Paxman, you've heard me on the podcasts. What a great arguer. But when it comes to marital life, I don't win enough of the arguments. Are you keeping... Hey, who's keeping score? Not me. The old score ledger by the bed. When one member of the couple is far better...
Uneven sides of arguments? I don't know. I don't really argue with my partner. We just express what we need and want from each other and we do it. I mean, arguing is normal and natural, and I think that's a regular part of a relationship. It's not going to be sunshine and rainbows every day. However, if one person is constantly the one picking fights and starting the arguments, the other person is going to get real annoyed real quick. Some people that I know will instigate every single fight with their partner, and their partner just takes it. It's so one-sided. I feel like normally relationships where they argue all the time, there's normally one person that either starts or instigates every single fight, and the other person is just like, why are you bringing all this chaos into my life? Please be my peace for one day. So I can see what he's saying there. It makes sense.
Better communicating at communicate. It says a far better communicator. I missed the indefinite article early in the sentence. I thought I could make a go of it. I couldn't. When one member of the couple is a far better communicator about emotional issues than the other, it gives them an unfair advantage during arguments and conflict. Okay. The partner who does not communicate as well can't express their thoughts. Is that going on in your relationship? Are you having that? Jen? Who's having that in their relationships? Are you having it in yours? Oh, I am a much better communicator. Hang on, I'm a worse communicator. The key to good communication, you take a little breath, you think, what is it I feel? Oh no, I'm just trying to control that person. You might realise, well, oh, that's a wound from the past. Think of someone
That's
like
a big
Diana
one.
Cartol. Always peaceful, always calm, always loving. There are great role models for us to aspire after and be inspired by. Me, I feel that it's really important to acknowledge your own flaws and faults so that you don't get too carried away wading into other people. But God, yeah.
That is such an important one, you guys. Self-awareness is incredibly important, especially when you're in a relationship. You need to be able to look at a situation and think, okay, I'm feeling this way because of this. I'm feeling this way because of childhood trauma where I felt like I wasn't good enough, and now I'm projecting that onto my partner, even though they're not doing anything to make me feel like I'm not good enough. I just feel that way because of something I've experienced in the past, for example. So it's important to be able to look at a situation, to regulate your emotions, to be able to look at your emotions and understand why you're feeling that way and understand your flaws. Because if you go into a relationship thinking that you are flawless, that you can never do anything wrong and everything is being pointed at your partner, you're constantly blaming them for things, it's going to get real old real fast. And I hate to break it to you, but they're going to get sick of you because nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes and we need to be able to acknowledge those mistakes in order to grow not only ourselves but in our relationships.
Open comms, says my therapist. He says that's what you got to do. Be open. Over the time they learn that it's pointless to argue or bring up concerns because they can never win, so they shut down and withdraw. Don't bully people. We've done a video on gaslighting, and I'm going to recommend that at the end of it. Have you been gaslighting? Did you just gaslight them? Don't! Lack of empathy to emotional distress. When one member of a couple is in emotional distress and their partner fails to display compassion or empathy, God, this is for cold psychopaths. God, why are you nodding? I'm always showing empathy. Bear, are you all right? Jen, are you all right? You, on your phone, are you all right? I love you. Do you need some help? All right, sign up to my mailing list, russellbrand.com. You need help, send an email to help@russellbrand. Someone will literally email you back, what's the matter? Do you need the Samaritans? We can help you. You're a drug addict. I know a solution to that as well. People are creating movements to reach out to you, to love you. You are valuable. You are, in fact, beyond valuable. You are the miracle of life and consciousness in what some would call limitless nothingness, but I would call limitless vibrating consciousness. But who cares? You know, back to the hat. Who cares what a man under this hat thinks?
That's a good one. Again, same thing with the emotional intelligence video I did. Empathy is so important. It's a sign of intelligence for you. It's going to make people feel more comfortable with you, especially if you're in a romantic relationship. You know, you might not have to agree with everything that your partner says, and it's okay to be constructive and to tell them when they're wrong about something, but you need to be able to put yourself in their shoes and understand why they're feeling that way and not just say, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but actually listen and try to understand why they are feeling a certain way so that you guys can work together to fix it and resolve it. And by no means am I saying that it's your job to fix someone, but there's going to be hardships in any relationship, and ultimately I think those are the times when you grow the most. And if you're able to work through it together, to really hear each other, to listen to each other, you're going to come out even stronger than before. Hardships in a relationship are what make you or break you as a couple, and the people who don't succeed are the ones who ignore their partner. They ignore all the ways that their partner is feeling because, you know, they think it's not justified, or they think that they shouldn't feel that way, or they aren't being empathetic and putting themselves in that person's shoes. So something to consider, definitely a big one. This video sounds a lot like my emotional intelligence video that I did, and for good reason. Those are 5 things that every person should have, and honestly, emotional intelligence is gonna make you succeed in your relationships more than probably anything.
I got it on ballers. Ignoring important complaints. There's only 5 tips. There's 4. Where's the final tip, Jen? 4, ignoring important complaints. As much as too many complaints are a problem, ignoring your partner's meaningful complaints is also a problem, right? So that's but look, there's no 5th. Have you seen this? Where's the 5th complaint? The 5th habit. Right, let's get the 5th one is being inconsistent and incomplete in your communications with people. Like this is. So, the key to a good relationship, communicate, listen, express yourself, allow your partner to communicate. And if you're working with someone who does a half-assed job, what do? You show them tolerance and love and compassion, knowing that 4 or 5, who cares? Numbers are just numbers. Doesn't matter to us, does it? Just because we've got 5 fingers on one hand, it's not a magic number, is it? What, the Jackson 5? What do you want 5 for? 5 fruity flavours of 5 alive? Do you remember that advert from when you were a kid? Or was that my childhood?
What is he talking
No,
about?
it was mine. I hope that this half-assed attempt at relationship advice is of some value to you, because I genuinely care about your well-being and peace. What?
Okay, this video was kind of silly. I think everything he said was 100% true, and he says it in such a funny way that you just have to listen to him. He's entertaining, he's hilarious. I was staring at his hat the whole entire time, which I don't know if that was a good thing or not, but ultimately I think that I'm gonna watch more videos on his channel and thoroughly enjoy them, because I think I like what he has to say. I know you can't judge someone just off of one video, but I've seen him on multiple things before, and I just think he's one of the funniest people I've ever watched, and just so totally interesting. This was a really good video. Again, I think it was very similar to the emotional intelligence video that I did. And ultimately, I think that communication is one of the most important things, and ultimately probably one of the biggest reasons why relationships fail, because of that lack of communication. It's so important to be able to communicate to your partner what you want and what you need, because your partner is not a mind reader. If you want flowers, you can't just expect your partner to know that you want flowers. Well, that might be perfect in a perfect world, and maybe he can learn that online from my videos or TikTok. If you're a guy watching this, let me just tell you something. Girls like flowers. If you surprise her with flowers, I'm sure that something great will happen to you. That's all I'm gonna say. If a guy doesn't, know that, he doesn't know that. You don't know what you don't know, right? So you can't get mad at someone when they can't read your mind and know exactly what you want all the time if you didn't express that to them and communicate that to them. So ultimately, I think communication is probably the biggest one of all of them. So if you guys liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a video. Let me know in the comments down below who you want me to react to next. I know none of you guys even recommended Russell Brand, but I was doing some research on YouTube and came across his channel, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's so interesting. I think I'll react to him. So sorry I did not listen to you guys this time, but I promise, leave a link down below to a video you want me to react to, or just tell me which video it is, which channel it is, and I will happily react to it. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. I do a lot of Q&As, a lot of interactive stuff that you guys will not want to miss. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.